All right, welcome back to Tiny Table Talk. My name is Sam. I'm here with my two best friends, Tywur and Josh.
Hello.
Um, Tiny Table Talk is a podcast that I made with my two friends about the NBA. Um, it's playoff time, so we're going to talk all about the playoffs. First things first, I'm the realist. Um, the Sixers didn't choke.
The whole world for that.
Fancy,
Yeah. What?
fancy by Iggy Azalea.
Yeah, I love that song.
Um, but Sixers didn't choke. They won
Woo!
tonight. Didn't they win? Was it tonight? Yeah.
Yeah.
They won tonight after the fuck Embiid chance. That was funny. Um,
You can't give him hate because he's just gonna feed off of it.
yeah. Yeah. Um, Miami got out of their series with the Hawks. They gentlemen sweep 4-1. Philly won 4-2. Uh, Obviously Boston swept. We talked about that last time. Uh, Milwaukee gentlemen swept the Bulls 4-1. Let's see. Phoenix won tonight. Devin Booker played. He decided he was going to play tonight, and I think he was on limited minutes though.
Like a Steph Curry greatest sixth man of all time type situation.
Yeah. They Nola had no chance of forcing the game 7. Chris Paul shot 14 for 14 from the field. Like it was a good game. Dallas is currently playing, as you can see behind Tyler. They're leading the
That was
series
pulled it
3-2.
back.
Dude, Luca is insane. I love Luca.
Did you watch Game 5?
No,
Dude, he
but I heard
was
he went off.
absolutely on one.
Yeah,
It
Dude.
wasn't. He had like 20 points or something in the third quarter. It was ridiculous.
Luca is the future of the league. 100%.
He is so
Like
good.
Luke is playing really well, but tonight's a Jalen Brunson night. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's
I
go.
love Jalen Brunson. I love
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson.
It's definitely
So,
not a Powell night. Definitely not a Powell
boo.
night.
Dwight Powell is usually like a really good role player, but he's never like a that guy kind of player.
Twice now, Luke is giving perfect lobs. He's been dunking too hard, so it hits the rim and it just flies away.
No. Golden State gentlemen sweep Denver. The former MVP Nikola Jokic.
Take it away.
4-1.
He doesn't deserve it.
Hey, he still won that award.
Take it away.
Um,
If he was really an MVP, he wouldn't have lost in 5 games. A real MVP
and
would
if
have pushed it to
LeBron
7.
wasn't the GOAT, he wouldn't be in the playoffs. Anyway, then the next one we got is Memphis versus Minnesota. They're at a 3-2 Memphis lead. But let's just talk about the games. So in Miami, in Atlanta, Oladipo went for their fantastic game. He had 23 points
It's so much.
for their
It's so much to watch him play.
yeah. He went for 23 points in the game 5 without Jimmy Butler and without Kyle Lowry. The Hawks still lost. And in this series, Kevin Knox, the second, has outscored Trae Young twice. So let that be known that Kevin Knox is better than Trae Young, the guy with the Fortnite suit.
That's what it means.
Jimmy Butler averaged 30 points during the series. Trae Young only averaged 15.
Yeah, they kind of just like put him in a straitjacket, locked him inside a phone booth, and then cut off his arms.
It was not good.
It was a good game plan,
Yeah,
And
all
it
credit to
worked.
the Heat.
Yeah.
Executed perfectly. But I
You
feel
don't
so
have
bad
Chris
for him.
Capella. It's hard to.
I feel
hard to
so
get-
bad for him. Capella came
Yeah.
back, but he wasn't like healthy by any standards.
At
No,
that point.
no. At some point, you just got to take the Hawks and be like, you had a good run last year, but just let it go.
A team like that relies on getting hot to beat teams. Well, they shot poorly the whole series, but is a bad matchup against a veteran team that knows how to execute a game plan. If they were going against a younger team, maybe they had a chance, or a less experienced team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Heat between Spoelstra and Butler and Lowry and all the guys that have been there before. Yeah, that not a good matchup.
I honestly thought that they might have choked this series just because of the kind of like the chemistry they were like clashing at the end of the year.
Yeah,
It looked kind of bad, but I shouldn't have doubted them. They're the ones.
yeah. I think we all overreacted to that.
Yeah.
I also thought it was going to be an issue, but they're fine.
They're a 1 seed for a reason, and I think that maybe not everyone didn't overreact. I feel like everyone reacted to it a different way, but I feel like everyone was like, "Oh, the Miami Heat, like they're dogs, but they're not going to get where they want to go. Like they're not going to be that good." And they looked pretty good out there. Granted, it's a really beat up Hawks team, but
I think part of it was throughout the whole season, Jimmy Butler hasn't been Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Between the injury and he shot what, like 18% from 3 this whole year. Like,
yeah, it was
absolutely
terrible.
abysmal. I think people forgot, like myself included, how good he actually is. And when he's playing well, like he had what, a 45-point game or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Jimmy Buckets was back.
When he's on, they do have a guy. They're not just all dogs. No, they do have the superstar in Jimmy Butler when he's playing well, and playoff Butler is here.
Yeah. So the next matchup that they have is Sixers, but we'll look at that matchup in a second. The next one I want to look at is the Sixers versus Toronto. The 4-5 seed. It wasn't looking good for the Sixers going into game, what was it, 5? They were up 3-0 on the Raptors, and then they conceded. No, they were up 2-1 on the Raptors.
They were up 3-0.
But didn't they take a game?
The Raptors, they were up 3-0, and then they dropped 2 games. And
right. Okay. Yeah. So in game 6.
Yeah.
So going into game 6, they needed the win. They were about to be the only team to choke a 3-0 lead. It was looking like it.
I was especially skeptical because they were so dominant at Philly in game 5 to get their second game back. So I thought going back to Toronto for game 6 was going to be rough. Yeah. And then game 7 would have been in Philly. So I wasn't like super concerned that they would choke, but forcing a game 7 was a very, very likely possibility.
Yeah.
And then going to happen.
Pascal Siakam has been playing amazing.
He was really good.
I think everyone puts a lot of hate on Pascal just because like no one thought he was the it guy after Kawhi left, and that's what Toronto kind of made him. Toronto kind of made him the guy. But I feel like they don't really have a guy. They just have all around good players. And so he's kind of solidified his role as the better players on a really good roster.
Him and Van Vliet.
Yeah.
Who hasn't played. But...
Well, he did play, and then the whole like was it, I think it was hamstring, or was it his arm?
He only missed like a couple games. I forget what it was, but he only missed like 2 games or something.
Yeah.
He wasn't very effective the whole series though.
Yeah. But Pascal averaged 22 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, which, or I'll round that up to 6 assists. It's 5.8. That's pretty good for, their big man. Like, that's their center. So, but I mean, Joel's averaging 26, 11, and 2. So
Toronto typically does a good job on Joel's typically because they have a bunch of 6'8", 6'9" guys that they can double team Embiid with, and Nick Nurse is a fantastic coach. So they held him to yes, he still put up 26 and 11, but that's better than what he's been doing, or that's a lot worse than what he's been doing all season.
Yeah, no. He didn't average that on game 6. That's just what he's been averaging throughout the series.
Yeah.
But I mean, they really did what they could, and they've come out and said that Toronto will never be a mid team. They will never be a 5-6 seed. They don't want to be that. They want to be either winning or losing. Like, they went out in a press conference and said that. And like, that's a good mindset. I don't ever want to see the Memphis Grizzlies always be a 5-6 seed because they're never going to win. Like, you're either going for the top or you're rebuilding or you're trying something new.
It's just really tough with the Raptors because the first time they were, not the first time, but the last time they were really good was the DeRozan Lowry era or the LeBronto era.
Yeah.
Which was unluckily timed when LeBron came back to Cleveland or when LeBron was with the Heat. So that sucked. And now, again, as they're starting to build that roster with Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Van Vliet, and Anunoby, all those guys that they have, it's also just very unfortunately timed with the Bucks being super dominant, Harden going to the Sixers, the Nets still have Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and while they might not have been good this season, they'll be back next year.
They will.
The Heat, like everybody, the East is loaded, so it's just tough.
Yeah, it's just a tough conference. It's just a hard year. And I think they'll get through it, but it's just gonna be hard a couple of years. Let's go to the next one. Bulls, Bucks. It wasn't really a series. Everyone knew that the Bucks were either going to sweep or take it in 5. Funny enough, Nikola Vucevic was their leading scorer.
And he was terrible.
And averaging 19, 12, and 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists.
The numbers did not show how he actually played.
No. I think Vooch is a good player. He did just move to the Bulls. I think he just needs some getting used to. But this year was terrible for him. This year was a bad year. So I think I'm going to give him one more year to like really prove that he like is there for a reason and they chose him for a reason. Or they traded him for a reason, like they traded him to Chicago. But after next year, if he's still not performing like he was on the Magic, I'm out. I'm out on Vooch.
I'm already out on Vooch. The narrative I want to focus more on is the DeFrozen is back. Yeah. So
I want to go back to Vucevic for a second because I do think that he is kind of in the – I don't know. I feel like he's too small to be a center. Or he's too small and not like when you look at like dominant centers in the league, you think of like Joel and Jokic. And Vucevic can play make, but he's not good defensively. And so I feel like that's what they really lack. Like if the Bulls were defensive at all this year, like if they had any kind of defense and they also had DeMar and Zach LaVine and, Lonzo Ball, I feel like they would be a really good team.
Again, a matchup is tough against Milwaukee. When your rim protector is Vooch against Giannis, you're kind of fucked. But it's not a size thing. He's just not athletic. He's 6'10". That's about an average size for a center. Not all centers are 7 feet.
That's a good point.
But I mean, Bam is 6'9". So
yeah, that's
true. Not like a size thing. It's just he's not athletic at all. And it worked when he was like the number 1 option in Orlando.
Yeah.
But it's just not. Go ahead.
I don't know if y'all saw the Jimmy High Roller video. Did y'all see that with the dominating centers thing?
Mm.
I would watch it. I'd recommend it. But it's breaking down how it's like if you go back 20, 30 years, it's everything is all about being the biggest guy. You know what I mean? Like you have your greats and they're all just big men. And then there's like this 20-year span of it's all guard heavy. And now you're finally like going into a new era where the center can be the most dominant player. And it's like instead of quantity, because like before it was like there's so many centers, but they're all really good because they were just big. Now it's like you got to be the biggest man, and also you have to have one of the like you have to be the most skillful, and that's why
I feel like
players like if you look at the top three runners for the MVP, Jokic, Giannis, and Joel, all three big men, all masters at their own craft. Like it's quality over quantity now, which is really cool to see.
I feel like a lot of the best players right now, you're right, are big men, but they also have like point guard mentality. Like they all want the ball, they can all play make, they can all do all these. Well, Joel can kind of play make, but like Jokic is the best playmaker in the league. Giannis can score and he understands the game well enough to make that play. And Joel can do the same. They're all almost like almost point guard like, you know?
Well,
And I
and
feel
it's
like
almost
that plays a huge role when it comes to being a dominant player in the league.
and it's more than point guards. It's like at least the little time I've been learning basketball, it seems like we're all transitioning into a positionless basketball.
Yeah.
And it's these big centers, these dominant centers, they're not like they're not reverting back to what they did 30 years ago where they're just the dominant player. They're adapting to this positionless basketball where they are able to do everything. They can defend, they can move like a guard can. And the idea of hearing a 6'10", 6'11" dude that can move like a guard, it's not entirely uncommon now. Like you even see it in the college scene, which is really cool. But
Yeah, no. It's I think it's definitely coming to the league quicker than everyone thought it was. Um, Evan Mobley has brought that into the league. Um, Jared Allen's really good, but he's not very much like a playmaker. But it's definitely becoming a positionless game, which is super cool to see. All right. Anything else on the Bucks and Bulls? Nothing.
DeMar DeRozan, despite having an incredible regular season, still sucks and is worthless.
Whoa. I think I like DeMar DeRozan. You just got to do better in the playoffs. That's all I've got to say.
I think all they needed was Lonzo Ball. If he was there, it's a completely different series.
I think they needed a ball brother. I really think they needed a ball brother.
Yeah, LaMelo.
They
They needed
I don't know. I think any of them would have worked. LiAngelo,
Hell,
Lonzo,
even LeVar.
even LeVar. Yeah, no. If they had LeVar on the sideline, game over.
No, him on the court.
Bulls in 7. We already talked about the Boston Nets series, but let's talk about Milwaukee versus Boston because that's the next matchup. That's round 2. What do we think? What do we predict? I have Boston in like 6. Or no. I have Milwaukee in 6. Well, let me think about this. Y'all say
I think this one for sure goes to. Okay, I don't want to say for sure because nothing's for certain, but I really think it's going to 7. And Game 7 would be in Boston, which is tough. The not having Middleton for the whole series hurts so bad. It hurts so bad.
It does.
And even like if they had Middleton, I'd say Milwaukee in 6. Without him, I don't know, because Drew Holiday and Giannis are both good enough to guard Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Right.
I don't know. Jason Tatum's pretty unguardable, but so is Giannis. So that kind of washes. I think the Bucks are a little bit deeper, but the Celtics are a little bit better defensively. Also, the Bucks have the advantage of they literally just did this last year. So they have experience on their side, they have depth on their side, and also they have by a mile the best player in the series. So
hold on. Now we did say that the people with the best players in the series usually win, being Kyrie and KD, and the Celtics still pulled it off. So does really having the best player or the best players really mean anything?
absolutely, yes. It usually means sometimes you get like a fluke where like arguably the best player in the world gets swept for the first time in his career. But I also think that sweep was largely due, in fact, to the Nets just have zero chemistry because they never play together ever.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, that sucks. This
I will
Milwaukee team has
say,
been together for 3 years now. So
yeah, I will say that the whole like on Twitter, people saying like, "Oh, well, Jason Tatum's better than Kevin Durant." No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Jason Tatum's good. He's probably top 10 in the league right now. He's probably right outside top 5. But to say that he's better than Kevin Durant, hell no. I ain't taking that. Nah, that's a bad take.
and
That is
he's
a terrible
not
take.
as good as Giannis either.
Not as good as Giannis. Oh my god. But
yeah, it'll be interesting. The big thing I'm looking at is the Celtics have had a long ass break. Actually, wait, no, Milwaukee and the Celtics are both. Never mind.
they're
The
both
Celtics
third, but
have
they
had
have to
a
wait.
longer break, so maybe they come out and get like 2 quick,
Yeah.
or go up 1 quick. But fuck, I think I'm gonna lean Boston in 7 here.
I think I'm leaning Boston 7.
Which
you kept talking, and I was like, yeah, but Chris Middleton's out, and
Middleton
how
out.
deep really are they? Like Grayson Allen is good, kind
He's
of.
been lighting it up,
He's
but
been
how
lighting
long
it up.
do you rely on that to happen?
Exactly. Like,
And Middleton's their closer. As good as Giannis is, Middleton is their end of the fourth quarter guy. Go get a bucket.
yep.
So in any close game, which the Celtics have proven in close games, they are very, very good.
I'm really thinking Celtics.
I'm
Honestly,
gonna say Celtics in 6 or 7.
honestly, it depends. It really does depend on who beats. Okay. If the Celtics beat Milwaukee, I think they go to the finals.
It depends on what the Heat look like against the Sixers. The Heat are going to beat the Sixers, but is it in 7 or is it in 5?
Yeah. If the Sixers beat the Heat, then I think the Sixers have a chance to go to the finals because they don't have a big man. They don't have anyone that can guard Joel.
Yeah, but the Sixers don't have anybody who's going to stop Tatum. You could say Thibault,
but then what about Harden?
Harden's been mid at best.
I'm just saying. I really do. Look, if Boston gets matched up against the Heat, I think Boston go to the final. But if Boston gets matched up between the Sixers, I'm probably picking Sixers.
If we're going to transition to Heat Sixers matchup here,
Mm-hmm.
I need to see James Harden be James Harden. I can't see any more 22 and 14 assist stat lines.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 22 and 14.
I'm okay with that, but we fucking gave up Ben Simmons and Seth Curry. I don't.
Yeah,
I want him to be James Harden. I want Embiid and Harden to combine for like 60, 70 points a night, which they're more than capable of.
Yeah.
Like I just maybe Kyrie Irving was right when he called James Harden washed.
Look, I am okay with James Harden going into a secondary role and putting 22-14 up a night.
I'm okay with it.
But he has to do it more, I guess, efficiently. I feel like he's not as dominant as he was 2 years ago. Like he was a leading scorer. He was a leading scorer and MVP at one point. Like he was like, do you think James Harden's Hall of Fame?
That's not even a question. Absolutely.
But like in terms of like how amazing he was, do you think he's like? How high do you think he is on Hall of Fame?
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, obviously, but like I'm trying to say, like in comparison to all the other shooting guards
I
in
think
Hall of
he's a
Fame,
top 3 shooting guard of all time.
still.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fair.
Here's a question. Is Chris Paul Hall of Fame?
Yes,
Okay.
but Chris Paul never won an MVP.
Exactly. So James Harden won an MVP. So he is absolutely Hall of Fame. Like,
Okay,
like
that's fair.
Yeah, he has an MVP and he has had like 23 50-point games in his career. He's a Hall of Famer for sure. That's not a question. There's loads of guys who never got it done in the playoffs that are in the Hall of Fame. Charles Barkley is another one who has an MVP and never won a finals.
Yeah.
But
I also see. Okay, going back to the Nets thing, I see a lot of people being like, Steph Curry carried you to a finals. Like Steph Curry carried you for a chip.
About Kevin Durant or
with Kevin Durant. Like it was all Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And I'm looking at that saying, hell no.
He was the best player on that team.
100%.
Yeah, there's a reason he won the finals MVP.
Right. And so when people I feel like ever since they swept Boston, everyone's just been like Katie sucks, Katie this, Katie that. But like
people are always going to overreact. They're stupid.
But Katie is arguably the best player in the league right now.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me.
Right.
Insane. It's insane.
I can't wait for the Trae Young slander to start because he had a shitty series against the Heat.
Like, he's a good player.
He's the second best point guard in the league.
I hate fans sometimes. Yeah, he had a bad playoff run, but like so did Ben Simmons. I give Ben Simmons a lot of hate just because like I just don't like Ben Simmons that much. But I can't deny that he's a good player. Anyway, what's the score of the Mavs game, Tyler?
A Domino's.
Domino's commercial.
Domino's ad. Score is cheese pizza.
It is 98-96 with
Mavs?
4 seconds left.
Mavs.
Yeah,
that's good. If Dallas wins this, they will be playing Phoenix in the second round. Now, Devin Booker's back, but on limited minutes.
They'll get him back in the rotation soon enough. They'll get him in 2 or 3 games.
Yeah. Luka is playing incredible. How we feeling on this series? Because I'm saying Dallas 6.
Against
He's not playing that incredible.
Suns or against the Jazz?
Against the Suns. Okay. This might be my Luka fanboy coming out, but I think Luka can get it done this year. I think the Dallas Mavericks are a team that can go deep.
So be careful with how safe you feel about Luka because Kevin Durant had the same injury Luka had that kept him out this season, and he came back and he was fine for a little bit, and then he tore his Achilles. So,
well, man, you trying to say Luka Doncic is going to tear his Achilles?
He's not immune to it. But that's not my thing. Dallas won 4-2. If they let the Mavs or the Jazz get 2 games, almost 3 on them, I think they're just gonna kind of get steamrolled by the Suns. It might be a 6-game series for the Suns, but I feel like every game I have the Suns in 6 in that, and it might look close because it was a 6-game series. But I feel like both the games Dallas gets are going to be like 2 or 3 point wins thanks to like a Luka triple-double or something. He's going to be incredible. There's no doubting that Luka is going to be ridiculous. But the Suns can absolutely lock up Jalen Brunson and Dwight Powell and Dorian Finney-Smith and Dinwiddie. Like, those guys aren't good.
Here's what I'm predicting. Luka, Maxi Kleber, and Jalen Brunson are going to go insane for this playoff.
So not even Spencer Dinwiddie.
I love Spencer Dinwiddie. He has not been that good this year. He did have that poster, which was dope as fuck, but other than that, he's just okay.
He got
I
20
think he
tonight.
has. I think he has the talent to be a very good point guard, but he's also competing with Luka and Jalen Brunson, so it won't happen. But back to what I was saying. I think those three players, Maxi Kleber, Jalen Brunson, and Luka Doncic, will be very, very good and will help the Mavs win in 6. I'm also saying that the Suns are very, very good. And I totally, if they do beat the Mavericks, I'm not like mad or anything. They're the one seed. They're the most dominant team in the league. I just want to see the Mavs win. I want to see Luka win. He works way too hard for that damn team to get fucking nothing. I just want to see Luka with a big old smile on his face. That's all.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm gonna probably bet on Booker, Chris Paul, and Ayton over Luka, and then Maxi, Kleber, and Brunson.
If we want to break down like even
That's
like
your
the
loss.
centers, so if we're just like looking at this like last 5 games, so Powell's been averaging about 6 points a night, and Aiden's been around 18, 19. And also Powell didn't score anything tonight, and Aiden had 23.
Well,
So
how about we think about this though? Luka Magic.
He will get them a game or two. He will.
it doesn't matter. He could have 50 every night, and it won't be enough. It's you're playing against Paul and maybe Booker. Like,
and if you want to do what the Heat did to the Hawks, where they just put their best player in a box, the Suns are more than capable of doing that.
Oh, 100%. They 100% are.
It'll be interesting to see their game plan, though.
I just want to see them win.
That's fair.
I just want to see Mavs win.
You're
not even
putting the Mavericks. You're putting the Mavericks against one of the deepest lineups in the league.
Ooh, I don't know about deepest lineup in the league, but I do think the Suns are very, very good.
Chemistry wise, they all work. Like the games that I've watched, every lineup works. It's like the teams that they beat, they destroy. Or it's like a close loss. That's why they're as high seed as they are.
That's fair.
And it's what was the stat I saw the other day in ESPN? Let me see if I can find it. It was okay. All right. It was point differential against the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the Mavericks are, but they weren't in the top 5. The number 3 were the Warriors with a point differential of 1 against the top 8 teams. The Suns are number 2 with 53. Against top 8 teams, the point differential of the teams, like the games that they played, was 53. Obviously, the Celtics were first. They had 132. But
fuck Boston, though.
If you're talking about a stat that kind of describes how well a team is at beating good teams, that's a pretty, at least in my rudimentary knowledge.
But look how much they struggled against the Pelicans but it was also the Pelicans are the most defensive team in the league. Did you see Herb Jones?
He's a monster.
What did I tell you about Herb Jones?
He's a monster.
He is so good. And yeah, they didn't have Booker. They lost 2 games. But they did struggle. They was a very
also a Pelicans team that if you're the Warriors, who would you have rather play at the 6th seed? The Nuggets or the Pelicans? You would rather play the Nuggets on any given night because that Pelicans team is loaded. they're covered with an 8 seed, and the only reason they got that 8 seed was because they got really hot at the end of the season because they made a trade for a really, really good player. They're much better than an 8 seed. They're better than the Jazz.
Yeah, for sure.
If I was the Mavs, I would have rather played the Jazz than the Pelicans. So I think that's unlike looking at like the Bucks playing the Bulls, where it's like that's like a wipe, and the Bucks, like, you don't know if they're that good. The Suns beating the Pelicans is a pretty big deal, especially without Booker for those couple games. It's great to see Chris Paul playing well. The Mavs could even go out in 5. I would love if they could force it to like 6 or 7, and it's going to take a lot from Luka. But I've still got Suns and the Warriors coming out of the West.
I think it's going to take everything from Luka to have the shot,
I think,
and then you also have to have everything from everyone else. Like the games against the Jazz, they won series 4-2, but the 4 wins they got, besides tonight in the first half, every single win Dallas had, the Jazz were just like shell shocked. They couldn't get anything right.
That Jazz team.
They were just disorganized entirely. And then obviously those games Dallas were winning. And then the 2 games they lost were a Jazz team that looked well put together. So what if you're going against a pretty well put together Suns team? It's not enough to like completely side with the Suns, but what I'm saying is Dallas has not proven to be enough to beat the Suns yet. They could, but they haven't proven it.
I will take back my opinion on the Mavericks. I will say that Phoenix is going to the conference finals. I love them. I like Luka. That's why I said that. But I will not take this hot sports opinion away. I think the Grizzlies are going to beat the Warriors in like a 7-game series.
Okay.
That's my hot sports
Oh,
opinion.
let me go back to my stat. Okay, so the Warriors were +1 on the point differential. The Grizzlies are actually 4th with -35.
Okay, so that doesn't matter because it's the eye test, and my eye says Grizzlies.
Ja Morant's Game 5 was something to behold.
Here's what I'll say about the Grizzlies. They don't need Ja to win.
No.
They've proved that time and time again.
They'll need him to beat the Warriors, but...
100%. But Jaren Jackson played amazing. Desmond Bane has been playing so good. Like, they are probably the deepest and most consistent team in the West. And I think that they could 100% make a run to the conference finals.
Yes, it's totally feasible, but against a 5-out Warriors team, it's really tough.
Yeah.
Because their best defender is Jaren Jackson Jr. He's not fantastic on the perimeter, and it's going to be a lot of – if they roll out Steph, Poole, Clay, Draymond –
it'll be hard. It'll be hard.
But there is a path. There is for sure a path. We've seen Steph go cold before. He hasn't had a great season. Now, in the playoffs, he's been pretty ridiculous, and I don't know if that's going to stop. But I think the more thing you can probably bet on is Jordan Poole cooling down, because at the end of the day, this is his first playoff run with big minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I also don't think that Klay Thompson will have as much impact as everyone thinks. Yeah, I'm a big Klay Thompson fan, but he's not the same Klay Thompson that was there 4 years ago. He's definitely different. He's definitely more conservative. And I think that he plays a big role because he can still shoot very well.
He's still the second best 3-point shooter in the league.
Right. But I do feel like that Memphis have the players that can defend them very well, except for Steph. Steph can get whatever shot he wants.
Did you watch Game 5?
Yeah. Isn't that the game with the 4-point play?
I watched the whole thing, and I don't think I remember seeing a 4-point play.
That might have been. I might have been remembering it for like a game 3 or 4.
But the game to close out the Nuggets yesterday, it's so crazy to watch him because he only needs to. It's like Damian Lillard. He just needs to see one. If one goes in, he's pulling up from half court the next time down the court, and it's going in.
His warm-ups are half court shots.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and he looked like himself again, not the Curry we saw after he broke the 3-point record where he was just kind of meh. What I think is going to push them over the edge, I actually do think that Klay Thompson is going to become Klay Thompson again. I feel like we're going to get a Klay Thompson game in there somewhere to put the Warriors up either in Game 5 or Game 6. Like Game 6 Klay has been notorious. But
Game 6 Klay.
Game 6 Klay. Third quarter Klay. But I feel like we're going to get a Klay Thompson performance in here somewhere. He's looked timid since he's come back this season, but during this Nuggets series, I've watched 4 of the 5 games, and he's starting to look like himself again. He's playing hard defense. He's actually moving like he's not scared of injuring himself again.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to get 1 or 2 Klay Thompson games where he has 30 or 40, and it could be enough to put the Memphis away if Steph is also playing his game.
Yeah. I also think that Draymond plays a huge role because when Draymond got ejected on the Game 5, they were down for a lot of it, and it was a really close game. And then, Steph started hitting his shots, and it was game over. But I think Draymond is a huge part because, they can shoot, but can they defend? Like, are they that good on defense? Because we know Klay is an elite defender.
Jordan Poole is a very, very good defender.
Who?
Jordan Poole is a very, very, very good defender.
I didn't know he played defense that well. But
I didn't either until I watched this series, and he's been on one.
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
But Gary Payton's a great defender. Draymond's a good defender. But when I look at the Grizzlies team, all of them play very tough defense.
Except for
Ja. Ja has his moments. He definitely isn't the best defensively, but he can play pretty good defense.
Yeah, but it's more of he has to exert all of his energy on
all of his. Yeah. So it's anybody's series, but I'm rooting for the Grizzlies on that one.
I'm pulling for the Grizzlies. I really want to see Ja go that far. But I think the Warriors are heating up and might be too much.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
It's important to talk. Like I don't know who I want to root for, but obviously the Grizzlies are extremely dominant and extremely deep and everything. But then it's something where you want to break down like the defensive ability of the Warriors. Like you have people like Draymond Green, Gary Payton II, even Klay Thompson. He's been averaging 2 steals a game, which it's not like a lot, but he's also playing really well defensively. Jordan Poole is playing really well. Steph Curry's just quick. But it's like it's a complete battle of just like pure athleticism of Ja Morant and then just nothing but shooters. So it's like who's going to end up winning? I think it'll be a cool series to watch.
It should be fun.
I want to root for the Warriors because they just seem more efficient, but it's so much more fun to watch the Grizzlies. So I think I might want to watch them more.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens though.
I want to see more of Ja.
Okay, now since we have a little bit more time, those are all the second rounders. If Memphis goes through, those are all the second round teams. So I would like to talk about the most improved award.
Speaking of
Ja. So Ja Morant won most improved player. Obviously there's obviously it's not the best award. I mean, like it's kind of a stupid award, but when I look at the players that could have gotten it, I kind of think, does Ja Morant really deserve it?
I think the award isn't awful in concept, but often the way they use it is, and this year proved that, they'll give it to a player who's already established themselves. Like people know them already, and then they'll just have like a breakout season, I guess. But I don't need. Can you even call this a Ja Morant breakout season? He was an All-Star already.
See, here's what I think. So we had number 1, Ja Morant. That was everyone's number 1. Number 2, DeJounte Murray. Number 3, Miles Bridges. Number 4, Darius Garland. Number 5, Desmond Bane. And number 6 was probably Jordan Poole. It just says top 5, but I'm assuming that Jordan Poole was somewhere on that list. Here's my beef with it. Ja Morant was expected, because he was a number 2 pick, he was expected to reach that level. When you look at a player like Darius Garland, who's been in the league for 3 years now, hasn't quite hit that hump or hasn't quite hit that leap yet, and he finally has. Why can't he win it? Right? Miles Bridges, who wasn't that good last year, what looked amazing at the beginning of the season,
Borderline All-Star.
He was number 2. Like DeJounte Murray, he was an All-Star this year. He was an All-Star because KD was hurt. Like he had amazing numbers. Now, granted, he did have the same kind of numbers as last year, maybe like a few points different, but still, DeJounte Murray was being talked about more this year because he had been playing very well. But my biggest thing is Jordan Poole played in the G League last year, and he came up and he got put in a starting role, and he averaged 18 points per game. He went from averaging like 6 to 7 points to 18. If we're talking about a most improved player, the player that had no expectation to be an all-star or close to an all-star, and we look at Jordan Poole's resume, that's a most improved player. And I'm not saying that Ja Morant doesn't deserve it, because he bumped up from 18 to 27 points per game. That is a huge leap. But when we talk about the most improved player, the player that proved himself from a nobody to a somebody, it's got to be Jordan Poole.
My whole thing is the award should be used to recognize a player that doesn't have hardly any recognition.
Right.
If you just go out and ask a random person if they know who Ja Morant is, they know who he is. Not many people, well, maybe now more people are starting to pick up on it, but not a lot of people know Jordan Poole. So giving the most improved to Jordan Poole, and if they continue this trend and make it more of a prestigious award, is going to help guys not only get more recognition, but it also help them make more money.
Yeah.
Because name does 100%. A lot. Accolades do a lot. So I think it should absolutely go to Jordan Poole, or Garland is another person where I'm like, absolutely give it to Garland. Maybe DeJounte Murray, I'm not too hot on that one. Miles Bridges I'd be completely fine with. But I don't think it should go to a player that everybody already knows and has already established himself as, he's going to be a star.
And the thing is, like, I just got like so many text messages. The thing is with Jordan Poole is that Jordan Poole, he almost like, he's not making a lot of money compared to the other Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson on that team. He's probably making $5 million a year. Is that enough to set you for life? I mean, I watched a documentary the other day about who was it? It was a football player, and he played for the I think he played for the Jaguars, and he was a great wide receiver, but they wouldn't pay him, and so he was like, I need this money so I can be set for life. Like I'm not set for life. I could be out of the league soon. Like I'm still like playing for you. I'm still like playing well, and you're not paying me. And so I feel like players' compensation is a huge thing in this league. Like a lot of people don't have jobs, and you could not have a job in a year or so. So every single game, you got to work your ass off to try to get a paycheck. And so, an award basically opens you up to brand deals, opens you up to like anything that involves commercials or kind of everything. If Jordan Poole won an award, the Warriors would be like, we have to give him more money. I think they're already thinking that because they have seen in the playoffs that, oh, he's that guy. And so they're already thinking about paying him more money, but getting an award kind of reassures you that you're going to get paid. And especially with a guy who's been in the G League before and like has gone through so much hard work to get into the league, to get where he is now, I think he deserves some credit.
I think it means a whole lot more to him. Like it would mean a whole lot more to Jordan Poole if he got that award versus if Ja Morant just puts another trophy on the case. Like he was Rookie of the Year,
right,
and an All-Star before he got that award.
Exactly.
And 18 to 27. Yes, he took a gigantic leap this year, but like you said, it was expected. He was going to at some point. The Grizzlies already know that that's their guy. Everybody in the league already knows that, okay, he is him.
He's untouchable.
And with Jordan Poole, I think it would just mean a lot more and give the award more prestige.
Yeah.
It's not as dumb as Sixth Man of the Year, but the way they give out Most Improved is oftentimes puzzling.
Yeah. All right. Guess what time it is?
Jaylen Brown.
Our first guess, guys. What are we thinking?
All right, and because he didn't get Most Improved, we will give him the honor of being our first guest on Podal. Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole. Ooh, okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
One of these days we're gonna
get it on the first try. Okay, so he's a guard. He's above 6'4". Plays in the West.
Big guard in the West.
Brogdon?
Brogdon's
Brogdon's in the East.
East.
Oh my gosh. Big guard. Big Russell?
De'Aaron Fox is 6'5", I think. I don't know.
What are we thinking? De'Aaron?
D'Lo's not a bad guess either.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait, hold on. I don't think he's very big.
De'Aaron?
No, D'Lo.
I think D'Lo's 6'5".
Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
I think. We're gonna go for it?
Sure.
He's 6'4".
Damn it.
He's literally everything Jordan Poole was. All right.
I think De'Aaron might be 6'4" too.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. High. Oh wait, no, not that's age. He's older than 26. D'Lo's not 20, or De'Aaron's not 26.
He's older than 20. De'Aaron's older than 26.
De'Aaron is not older than 26.
Ooh, let's try De'Aaron. How do you spell De'Aaron?
I think there's an E in there.
There it is. I spelled that so wrong. He's 6'3".
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Oh no.
Okay, he's an older guard because he's above 26.
Yeah, I know.
Why did we guess De'Aaron?
That's what I was saying.
Oh fuck.
De'Aaron is not 26, therefore it can't be him.
Fuck. Okay. Fuck, tall guards? Shit.
Old tall guards.
Old
Not
tall guards.
Not old necessarily.
How many divisions are there in the West?
There should be 4 in each division, right? Or 4 in each conference.
Wouldn't make sense. There's 15 in each conference.
You can knock out Pacific and Northwest.
There's 3. Is there 3 divisions or 5?
Oh, there's 6 divisions.
Or 6. Okay, let's just make the most sense possible.
Yeah, so you know
Luka?
it's in the Southeast Division.
Luka?
He's big. He's not 26 though.
He's not over 26.
All right, in the Southeast Division, there's the Hawks, Magic, Heat, Hornets, and Wizards.
We're in the
That's
West.
the
We're in
East.
the West.
That's the East.
Oh God! Wait, Southwest. Give me a minute. All right, Mavericks, Rockets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Spurs.
It's
How
not
tall
the
is John
Rockets.
Wall?
John Wall is 6'4",
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I don't think he's bigger than 6'4".
That's
You can
fair.
try it, but he would fit the age requirement. Wait, what number is he wearing in Houston?
He's 6'3". It wouldn't matter.
Okay.
He's wearing number 1.
Also, yeah, it's got to be bigger than 5.
DeJounte Murray?
Is he 6'4" or 6'5"?
He's not above 26 anyway.
Also that. It's nobody on the Rockets because they don't have anybody
They're
older
young.
than 26.
I don't think it's anyone on the Spurs.
They're all young guys. CJ McCollum's not 6'5", is he?
No.
I think he's like 6'3".
He's pretty short.
Do they classify Brandon Ingram as a guard or a forward? Probably a forward.
But he's not older than 26.
He's not that old?
I don't think so.
Actually, you're probably right about that.
And then from Oklahoma City, I can't think of any.
Also,
Ooh.
all players.
Pat Bev? Nah, he's short.
He's tiny.
Yeah. Damn. Hear me out.
Jaylen Brown.
we can show the silhouette. Do we want to do that?
I feel like that's cheating.
We'll do that when we're at like 6.
Yes.
Okay.
We get what, 8 guesses? Yeah.
Yeah, we get 8 guesses. Dang, this is hard.
Is anybody on the Jazz?
Bojan Bogdanovic?
He has a receding hairline, so he has to be old.
It's Bojan, right? It's not Bogdan.
Oh, dude, I don't fucking know.
Which one's the old guy?
They have Bojan.
Oh my god. He's a forward.
Damn it, he's a forward. Fuck.
Okay, but he's below 33 and above 26.
So probably 28.
Yeah, he's probably 28 or 29.
The Jazz don't have anybody else that fits that.
How old is CJ McCollum?
CJ McCollum's not
He's
that
30.
tall. He's older, but he's not that tall. I think he's like 6'3", 6'2".
Well,
I'm about to look like a fucking idiot.
yeah, he's 6'3".
Okay.
Whew.
Clarkson's that old, but is he bigger than 6'4"?
Okay, but it's not the Jazz.
Oh wait, shit! It's not the Jazz. Fuck.
Okay, let's just go through teams right now. So OKC would not have one. They're too young. Rockets wouldn't have one. Spurs wouldn't have one. Dallas, I don't think would have one.
We already guessed the Mavericks. Didn't we guess the Mavericks? No.
No, we guessed
Is there
the
anybody on-
Warriors, Minnesota, and Sacramento.
Hold on. How old is Dinwiddie?
Ooh.
And how big is he?
Dinwiddie's probably 6'5".
I thought he was bigger than that.
We guess it?
I'm okay with it.
Oh, Dinwiddie, Virginia
Okay,
is
okay.
256 feet.
Okay, we're close. So he's 30 years old. He's
Yeah.
100% 30 years old. He's 6'6". He's a guard. He doesn't play for the Mavericks.
He was in the Southwest.
So he has to play for
Mavericks, Rockets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Spurs. So it's probably the Pelicans. Pelicans are the Spurs, right? Or did we guess the Spurs?
Is
so hard
Brandon
to see.
Ingram a guard?
I don't think so.
No, because he's 30.
small forward.
30.
And also, yeah, his number.
Oh my gosh.
Does Memphis have any vets that are big?
D'Anthony Melton?
How
No, he's
tall is
small.
he, though? Because I think he's like 6'1".
D'Anthony Melton's short. He's got to be short.
I think he's tiny.
We are on guess 6, so we can look at the silhouette if we want.
Let's just go for it. This is not going to help at all.
No.
That looks like Jared.
Oh, I know who that is now. LeBron.
It's LeBron.
That low-key looks like Jarrett Culver. But Jarrett Culver's not that old.
Not 30 years old.
Oh my gosh, who is it?
Dude, I have no fucking idea.
Holy crap.
This is terrible.
This is hard.
I'm going to be honest. People are going to want to watch it. It's just a struggle.
Yeah, no, this is bad. Check out the YouTube, guys.
Not Dallas, not Memphis, not the Pelicans, I don't think.
No, it's between the Pelicans and the Spurs. And the Rockets. Okay.
So, the Rockets, it could only be John Wall.
But the number doesn't work out.
But the number doesn't work out.
Okay, so mark out the Rockets.
So, mark out the
Pelicans
Rockets.
and Spurs. Who are the guards on the Spurs?
DeJounte. Ooh, Patty Mills? No, Patty Mills plays for
Patty Mills is on
Celtics.
The Nets.
Oh, he's in the Nets now, yeah. Derek.
And
I was thinking
also
Derek
like
White.
5'9".
Yeah, I was thinking about like Derek White.
Guards on the Pelicans. All right. Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, that's that young dude. That's not him.
Jared Harper. Kira Lewis Jr.
Is that the Pelicans?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the New Orleans Pelicans website. Yeah, Kira Lewis Jr. But I feel like I'm cheating if I'm just going through the whole roster. It's not CJ McCollum. Should I keep going?
I'm gonna look up. I don't really want to look up anything though.
Because the whole point is that we just like get it.
We have to try to guess it. I think he's a. Oh my god. Do you think it's Josh Richardson?
I thought he was young.
Isn't he old?
I don't know. I thought he was young.
Okay, he doesn't play for the Spurs. He does not play for the Spurs. So he has to play for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
That's not Brandon Ingram.
That is not Brandon Ingram, guys. Oh my god, this is so hard.
Wait, does he have a beard? Because there's this one dude that literally looks like he reminded me of Gronk for no reason. No, that doesn't look like a beard.
Yeah, you
It
can
was the
tell.
most muscular man, and I saw him play for like a minute on the Pelicans, but I completely forgot his name. I can't tell, and also I don't remember if he was a small forward or guard. Bobo.
This is so hard. I don't want to give up though.
Why not? I'm just kidding. We've been going for like 15 minutes.
We really have. This is a long game. I'm just gonna guess CJ, and then I'm just gonna.
Wait, but that's it. That's it. I thought you didn't want to lose.
I don't really want to lose, but I can't think of any.
You gotta
anyone.
figure out the team at some point.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's do CJ.
Yeah, no, we know it's the Pelicans.
Okay.
Oh, do we have another guess?
We have one more guess.
Okay, so he's also 30.
And he's higher than it's 6'6".
He's
Look
higher than number 3. Zion. No, I'm just kidding.
Zion Williamson.
What are like bench players on the Pelicans? Name them off the top of your head, Josh.
Larry Nance Jr. No, he's huge.
I literally cannot think of any of their guards. Eric Bledsoe?
He's not on them anymore.
No, is he on the Mavericks now?
Okay.
No.
Fuck. Who were they talking about that they didn't pull out the other day?
So it's not CJ. It's not Jose Alvarado.
Is it Tony Snell?
Is it? Hold on.
wait, the old dude. wait.
The only member of the 50-50 100 club
is Tony Snell a guard?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, he didn't play. I think he's who you're talking about.
He's a guard, small forward. He's a guard, small
wait.
forward.
Go back to the silhouette. He was like skinny as shit. Sorry.
It has to be Tony Snell.
Yeah, that dude is a stick.
Oh! Wow. That's amazing, guys. Good job. Good shit. Good shit, guys. All right. Tony Snell.
Fun fact about Tony Snell, he's the only player to ever have shot 100% from the free throw line, 50% from 3, and 50% from the field in a season.
GOAT. That's the episode title. Tony Snell is the GOAT.
Oh, look at Tony Snell's stats.
All right. Outro. Thank you guys for watching.
All right, cool.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to check us out, we're obviously on Spotify. That's what you're listening on. If you want to check us out on YouTube, you can literally watch us struggle to play Podal. That was pretty funny, I think. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.